Don't share the fact that you try to unalive yourself for different times when you're having conversations with new people. That was the advice that I got when I was hanging out with some people in over the weekend, and it sounded like wisdom, right? Um, this particular group of people are East Europeans, and I do have East Europeans as clients, and so it was explained to me that in their culture that it's seen as weakness, and the reason I ended up saying something was because somebody said in the group, he said, "Well, depression it happens because people are not content with what they have." To which I have experienced that that's not true. I said, although that can be true, I tried to unalive myself for different times, but it wasn't because I wasn't content. I love certain things about my life, but I had grown up with, false belief systems, and I was being emotionally abused in many ways, and so because of the pressure, I just thought that was my way out, and I was supernaturally stopped those 4 times. The conversation did get a little quiet, and then I was informed that they were going to see me as crazy. They're going to see me as like hide the children from this person. And at first I got into my body. My body was just like wanted to shrink back, but I have been doing so much work on myself, and how am I going to encourage my clients to show up authentically, to share their stories when they feel like they need to be vulnerable, and then when they get some pushback, if I got some pushback, that I would be quiet. No. And I explained to this person who meant well, right? And in some ways it did make sense to know the audience. I said, but the truth is that those that I'm called to serve, our voice has a signature sound to those we're called to serve. And if I'm not called to serve them, then they're going to reject me, and that is fine. I'm 100% okay with rejection. I'm 100% okay with being ghosted, because that just means I'm not called to serve you. The other thing was to let the people know, whether they vocalize it or not, that, if you need therapy, go get it. If you need coaching, go get it. But the people who end up going into depression or, wanting to themselves, unalive themselves, it's not just because they're not content with what they have, as though they're ungrateful. I was grateful for a lot of things. But in those moments, I had allowed myself to go into chemical chaos, and now I know better. And now I help people to come out of those pits. And I wanted to make sure that whoever was hearing me, overhearing me as well, that there are a way out. They're not weak, and that there is help available. I love you, and I just wanted to share that with you.